Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be creating a food cart where we'll be displaying three food items. As you can see, what we have on our screen here, we have three meals here. We have jollof rice, we have spaghetti, then we have oha soup. Each of these food items, each of these foods are inside their cards, right? These cards enables you to display information in a very appealing way to users, right? So today we're gonna be creating it, and also I'm gonna show you a technique that you can use to make this thing to be a little bit responsive even without media queries with Flexbox, right? As you can see, these our cards that here now are responding. Once we get much closer, they will become one column, right? So we are achieving this goal with the help of Flexbox. So in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you all of this. So stay tuned. Let's head to our Visual Studio Code. In my Visual Studio Code, I already have HTML templates. You can simply achieve this by hitting your exclamation mark, or maybe hitting your shift key and the then hit one and then press enter. It's gonna show you this. And we have also created our CSS, which is this file cards2.css, and we have linked and we have linked it also. So let's start by creating our section tag. So inside our section tag, I'm gonna be having an h1 which says food menu, right? And then beneath our h1 tag, we're gonna be having a container that will enable us to center all of our product card out, all of our food cards, right? I will be naming this container as grid con, right? So for proper reference here, right? Now we want to create another container as well. This one will be our flex parent container, right? This container we have all of our food cards in it, and we're gonna be using flexbox in it, right? So let's call it flex, sorry, flexcon as well, right? Now inside this flexcon, let's create each of the individual food cards, right? So let's create a div called food card, all right? So inside our food card, we'll be having an image here, an image tag here. Then beneath our image tag, we have a div as well that will enable us to have this. Let me show you what I mean. That will enable us to have jollof rice and our price here side by side. So we will need a div, all right, that will enable us to use flexbox so that they can be side by side, all right, with each other. So that we can justify the space between, all right. So let's create a div. Food, let's say food para, right, colon, right. So here we have our food name. Let me go first with jollof rice because that's the first item on our list. Then let's me then add the price. What's the price again? The price is $20. So that's why $20. All right, now let's preview what we have been doing so far. I'm using live server, so you can download live server from your VS pseudocode extension. It is a free extension that enables you to have quick updates whenever you make changes to your code. All right, so let me get the image here. As you can see, we have already seen our food menu, the jollof rice, and the price. So let me go to iStock Photos. iStock Photos is a photo website that enables you to use images. Although you can pay for it, they also have free versions as well, where you can just copy the link. That's what we are about to do right now. So let me search for jollof fries and get the image so that we can use it. All right. Don't need photo. I don't need videos. I need images. Yeah, this is the image you are looking for. So let's copy the image address. All right. So let's come over here and paste it in our image source. All right. Now, now that we are done pasting it, now let's preview it on our browser and see what we have so far. Looking at this, we already have a very beautiful image here, which is a jollof rice, a Nigerian delicacy. Right, so let's begin our styling. Right, um first of all, I would like to give our food card, which is the main card itself, a distinct width. All right, a width so that it can have shape. Right, so let me call it width of, let me give it width of 20 rem. I love using rem because it enables my size to be flexible, unlike fixed units like pixels. Right, so whenever you are coding, try and make sure that you're putting your values in rems, because it will enables your work to be flexible so that it can be easily, so that it can be easy for you to adjust it with media queries. All right, so one rem is equals to 16 pixels. So if you want to get the value of this in pixels, you can say 20 times 16, right? And if you want to get a pixel size to rem, you can divide that pixel size by 16, so it will give you the RAM version of it. All right, so let's proceed. First of all, let's check what we are doing as well and see that our, okay, let's give our image to have the exact width of its parent container. We are clearly seeing that this image is overflowing, so let's target it directly. Let's give it a width of 100% so that it can have 100% width in its parent container. All right, so this is it. That's what we are looking for. All right, now let's go back to our food card. All right, going back to our food card, let's give this same border. All right, so that it can have this border here. Let me show you what I mean. This here, that you can have this a little bit kind of an border, very small border. So let's give that our element. So let's say border 1 pixels solid. Right, so let's give it black and then lighten it up. Oh, sorry, you're not seeing my, let me close this please so you can see my screen very well and adjust it. Yeah, now you can easily decide on which color we want, so I'm going for this. All right, now we are clearly seeing this border here. All right, now let's give some padding so that we can have space in between our elements and our image. All right, I mean, in between our food card and our elements inside it. As you can see, we have spaces here, spaces there, everywhere, all right, within our cards. So let's enable that with padding. So let's use the shorthand property, which is padding. So let's go give it 1 rem. Let's check whether that is too much, because I believe, okay, that's too much. Let's go with 0.5 rem, which is 16 pixels divided by, I mean, divided by 2, right? So let's go with 0.5 frame. All right, now I think this is great. So let's also give it border radius so that you can have that sharp bending here, I mean sharp curve there, that round curve at the edges. I will show you the effects right now, and we also give that our image as well, this sharp bending here. Right, so let's also give it our image as well. Let's just copy this and paste it there. So we won't be writing code out of shit. So now we have achieved this. Um, let's first of all display this our food paragon flex and then justify the content space between, because we want this jollof rice and our price to be side by side, just like our demo here, right? They are side by side, if you get. So let's just go back to our code and achieve that with flexbox. So let me copy the class name of the container. All right, paste it beneath this and use flex. Sorry, display flex. All right, so let's also go with justify content space between. All right, let's also give it a line item so that even if especially that they won't they that they would be on the same horizontal line with each other. All right, so we are now seeing it. That's amazing. Let's also give it small margin up and down, a margin up and down. So the up and down should be 0. Let me create 0.4 rem, and then the left and right is 0. So we don't need any padding on the left and right, but we only need it on the front and top and bottom. So yeah, that's what we are looking for. So what next is for us to create this paragraph here, this row room. I think this is up to 20. So let's just get in under this our food paragon, just put our p tag. Then inside our p tag, you just have to just them. Then how many them do we need? How many dummy text do we need? We need like 20 of it. So let's press 20 and then hit enter. Emit will help us to get that, right? That's the function of emit. It helps us to get these things. Just have to just write them, then the number of dummy text you need. We are now using 20 of it, so that's why we are seeing this here. All right, so this is amazing. Then our next goal is to create a container that will next our button, which will enable us to place it at the center. All right, so let's call it btn con. All right, I love using descriptive names so that if someone else is reading this code, he or she will understand that, okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what I mean by this, right? So inside our btn con, we have to create our button, right? So let's create our button. What's the text inside our button? Our text says buy now, right? So let's get that done. All right, say buy now, buy now. All right, now let's begin with the styling. You can see we have our button here. So for us to make our button to be at the center, we have to display each experience container. We have to use grid on it and then place the item center. All right, so let's use grid. I love using grid in stuff like this. You can use flexbox, it's acceptable, but for me, I'm going for grid. All right, anyway you can achieve this goal with it. All right, so say place items center. All right, so it's a center it. All right, so let's as well give it margin top. All right, margin top of 0.5 frame. All right, 0.5 frame. Okay, that's cool. Now let's target the button itself. Let's copy this class and then use its direct button, which is the real button we are looking for. Let's target our button. All right, now let's give our button some background color of purple. All right, this is purple. So the text should be the text should be the text color should be white. All right, so let's give it some weight. I know. Okay, now this is our button, so let's give it some weight and then some padding as well, and also some border radius, and we'll remove something. I will show you that in a jiffy. Now let's give it some weight of, I don't know, forgetting the exact weight I used on the other one. Let's check our demo and see the weight we use, that we can get the exact weight size. Right, so we used we use 5 rem, right? 5 rem, right? So let's copy that, right? And also the padding as well. Let's copy the padding and then come over to our code here, paste it. Okay, so basically we are giving our button width of 5 rem, and also we are giving padding up and down 3 rem, and also the left and right 0. All right, so this is how our button should look. Now if you can see this very well, you see this black border here. All right, this black border here is much lighter, but here is seems to be darker. All right, so we can remove this by saying border none. I believe almost everybody who have started a button have seen this problem before, right? So we can easily achieve that by saying border none. All right, so if you check very well, we are not getting that anymore. That is off, right? So let's give some border radius of 10 pixels. I believe that's the pixels, that's the size. Yeah, perfect. All right, so we have to give this some cursor pointer. As you can see, once I go closer to this button, it is still showing me an arrow instead of showing me a little hand there, which is cursor pointer. So let's check our demo and see what we are trying to explain here. If you come over to our demo here, then whenever we are much closer to our button, you see a hand icon, a very small hand icon. But in our work here, we are not seeing any hand icon, right? We are just seeing an arrow. So how can we achieve this? We can only achieve this by setting our cursor to be pointer. It has some other properties as well, but I won't go into that. It has properties like weight and other stuff, but let's see what we are trying to achieve here. All right, see, so we are now having this short hand here. All right, so let's check other properties. I think here it has loading. uh, yes, loading, something like that, but let's not go into that. We just go cursor pointer. Oh, sorry. Right, cursor pointer, it has other properties you can check about it. Let me come over to MDN and show you some of the properties it has. Let's say cursor MDN. All right, let's see some of the properties it has. All right, you can go and explore it later. All right, I'm going to explore it later, but let me show you some of the properties it has. Right, it has that loading stuff, so many other beautiful things about it. Right, it has pointer, it has zoom out, right? It has auto. It also have weight. It have help. It have crosshair. It has not allowed. So let me show you some of the demos here and see what I'm trying to explain. See, let me see the weight here. Now, if you come over here now, you see it is showing us loading icon. All right, loading icon. All right, so if we switch to help, come over to the place, you see a question mark. If you click this crosshair, come over to this place, you see a plus icon. See this one, not allowed, all of these things. So you can explore this later. So let's go back to our course. All right, to our work. So we are done with the button. All right, apparently our button is looking good, but we also need one thing here. We want to create an hover state for it. We want a style that will be applied to it during its hover state. All right, so let me show you what I mean here. But let's first of all target it, then get to the hover effect first. Take it to the hover state here. Then let me show you what I mean. If you come over to our demo here, all right, once you hover on this button, you see that the purple color seems to be much darker than it was. All right, so we can achieve this thing by targeting our button and then putting this color in its hover state. All right, so we need background purple. All right, but we want that background purple to be much darker, so we can achieve this thing with by just going here, just look for a much darker purple and just click on it. So once we hover on our on our work, it will have this dark stuff, but our own seems to be much faster, right? So let's use transition 0.5. All right, 0.5. What does this mean? This simply mean that this transition will take 5 seconds to occur. Okay, so you just have to paste it in the button styles and also in the over state as well. Right, if you go here now, it is now much professional than before. All right, before it was so fast, but in here now it is much more slower, which makes sense, right? Now we have achieved this goal, we have created our cards. All right, so what we're going to be doing is to copy and paste these styles, right? To copy and paste what we have done here, and then change the images, okay, and the food name and also the price as well. So it is basically the same thing. You just have to just copy and paste our food cards and then change the image. Okay, so we're gonna copy this in and paste it 2 times. One, then two. Okay, now if you check our work now, we now have 3 elements, 3 foods. All right, I think this is bigger than, okay, it's three. One, two, three. Okay, that's cool. Now let's go back to our demo and see the food we need to put. So we need to put spaghetti and oha soup. So let's go over to our iStock and search for spaghetti. 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 Okay, I think this is the image. Yeah, let's check very well for you. Yeah, that's it. So let's just copy this image here. Copy image address. Then come over to our second food cards. We are now having 3 food cards, so just go to our second food cards. Inside this the source attribute of the image there, just have to paste the copied image address of our spaghetti there. All right, so that we can have our spaghetti. Let's check what we have and see. Okay, now we are having spaghetti and also our rice. Now our next image should be the oha soup. So let's go over to iStock photos and then look for oha soup image to use. Okay. Oh, I added extra e. Sorry, not oha, please. Oha soup. Let's check which one you're looking for here. Okay, this one. So which is this here. Copy the image address. Right. Go over to the last food card we have. Right. So go over to it. Just paste it there. Right. Boom. And then what next is we're gonna change the prices. I think our oha soup has a price of $200. So let's give it oha soup $200 because our soup is very expensive to prepare. If you're a Nigerian listening to this video, if you're in Nigeria watching this video, you know how much our soup costs in the market. So you don't need anybody to tell you that. Yeah, $200. And then spaghetti is $15. Right. Let's check this spaghetti. 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 Spaghetti to $15. Okay. That's cool. I forgot something. I forgot to add rice to this. I only wrote thereof, right? I didn't add rice to it. So pardon me. I've corrected it. So we are now good. We are now good, right? We are now good. This is amazing. This is amazing. We have done an awesome work, but we have to um make these elements to be flex elements, right? We don't want them to be on the same column, rather we want them to be on the same row, all right? So we will use flex boards. Remember we have a general flex container here, which we named flexcon. So we're going to be using that right now. Okay, so let's go over at the top. I love styling my stuff from ascending order, right? I mean from descending order, sorry. Right, so let's just display flex, right? Flex, align items, center. So let's see what we have done so far. Now they are now flex elements. So let's give it gap, right? Gap is a shorthand property of row gap and column gap. Basically, we are just applying the two gaps, which is the row and the column gap at the same time. Because when we move over to the column through the help of first wrap, all right, if we don't have column gap and if we don't have row gap, but we only have column gap, it will look so squashed, right? So we won't want that to happen. So we have to target all of the both the row and the column and give it a gap, which is 2 rem. All right, so let's check it. Now we are now having space in between our cards. All right, now for us to achieve this, we want to center our all of our cards, all right, at the center. As you can see, they are not centered, all right, unlike our demo here, which is centered. All right, remember we have a grid container here, which we named grid con, right? So let's copy our grid con, and then above our flex container just paste the class, then display its grid, right? Then let's say place items center. Okay, so we can put our stuff at the middle. All right, now our cards is at the middle right now, so we have to center our food menu, this our h1 here, at the center. So it is the only h1 here, so we don't need to give it a class or whatever, so we have to target it with its tag name. Right, so let's just go with h1, then text align center. I think we also need some margin up and down as well. All right, so like 1 rem, then left and right 0. All right, boom, that's what we are looking for. All right, now let me show you how I did this magic by making this our demo to be a little bit um media responsive. All right, to be a little bit responsive. Can't you see, once I get closer to the cards, they return to column. Now they are now on one column. All right, so you can achieve this thing with a single css property named press wrap. All right, so let's go back to our flex container, which is the parent container that hosts all of our cards, and say flex wrap. All right, then let's say wrap. Okay, so this enables us to achieve this. Let's check whether it's working. I think it's not wrap. What's happening? Not even targeting the right stuff. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, it's fresh wrap. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. So when you're having issues, just refresh your browser. Everything will be fine. As you can see, what just happened to me right now. Just refresh your browser. So for you to achieve that, you have to just use this css property first wrap. All right, then put the value of wrap. Okay, so when you use no wrap, you are simply saying I don't want these things to go or under each other if there is no enough space, which will make this thing to overflow your screen width, which is not nice. So for you to achieve this thing, you have to use first wrap. All right, it's kind of funny, but that's it. The value should be wrap, right? Then the property name is flex wrap. right? So the value is VAB. So you are basically saying it, okay, if the width of our screen cannot contain all of our cards, please let one of the cards be under each other, right? As you can see here, this one was here, but as you can see, it is under this jollof rice, okay, which is a cool stuff, right? Now once we get much closer to our spaghetti card will also be beneath the oha soup as well. As you can see what just happened here, all right, which is really cool, which will help you in your responsive um when building a responsive site, okay, which make it to write Rex media query codes, right? Stuff like that. Oh, this is amazing. I can say we have done a very, very nice job, and I believe you learned a whole lot of things. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like this video if you got value from it, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. And if you have any question, feel free to comment, right? I will respond to it. If you have a topic you want me to attend to, please feel free to tell me that. I'll be happy to show you how it is being done. Okay, I think we have an unfinished task here, which is our spaghetti. Okay, our spaghetti, our food item seems to be much bolder than what we have on our demo. So how can we achieve this thing? Very simple. You just have to put all class name inside our jollof rice or our food names, right? So let's call it class. Let's call it title. Okay, title. All right. Yeah. Just try to place it in all of our food items, I mean food names, okay, so that we can easily give this in a some bold styles, right? So we can achieve that boldness by saying, by giving it this beneath our food card image. So let's say font weight, for it's 600, I think that's the weight. Yeah, it's now much bolder. So for us to apply a font here, I want to change the font style. So let's go with font family. Font family. Then I want open sans, right? Open sans. Okay. Now we are now changing our font to sans. Okay, so that it will look much nicer. As you can see, it's now looking much beautiful with open sans. Okay. So basically, we are done with this work, right? We are done with this work. So thank you for staying. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you. I believe you got value. All right. See you next time in my next video.